Starting with this shelf, they're kind of out of order. My sister and I ended up switching rooms as a whole thing. So like some of these are mine, some of these are hers. Wow, this is kind of a lot. Okay, so this is like historical literary fiction. There's some fantasy in here. Like this one is fantasy. I read this recently. Tell me if I should continue. I kind of want to. Like it didn't blow my mind, but it was also like pretty. Oh, and then my sister has all her Colleen Hoover, Agatha Christie. Maybe I'm not a murder mystery girly. Maybe I'm just not a mystery girly, honestly. I don't know. But I read this and I was like, oh my gosh, this is genuinely one of my favorite books ever. I need to reread it someday. Okay, tell me why this series is not more talked about among the YA community. This is like YA sci-fi in like the best way. It's a series. There's like 8 of these. They're all so good. I started this and I couldn't finish it, but I will, don't worry. So these are not mine, but my sister has these. I think there's another one. These Kristen Hanna books. This is the one that I've heard talk about. Oh my gosh, this is like kind of my pride and joy, guys. It has the meaning of the flower and then a picture of the flower. Go read this. If you haven't read it, go read it. Counting time. Okay, on this shelf, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 books on this shelf. And I have read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 11. 11 out of 19. I'll take it. Okay, now we're on a shelf that is like entirely mine except for like 2 books. No, there's like a stack in the middle that's not mine. This is the young adult dystopian and the fantasy. So we've got Moby Dick. It's the colored edition. I haven't read it yet, but I need to. Mainly because I have this gorgeous edition. Are you kidding me? Another pride and joy of mine. I will never get rid of this book. And then we've got The Hobbit, which I have read, and then all the Harry Potter books. Have read all of them in those editions. Also read these. Love them. Haven't read them in a long time. Why? Read those. I'm not a fan of the movies, but I think it's only because I've read these. I've only seen the first one and I refuse to see the other ones because I know I'm not gonna like it. I did read The Kill Order and then I started reading Fever Code and I was like, I don't care enough to see a child tortured for 100 pages. I'm actually so good. People had The Hunger Games, I had Darkest Minds, which I'm not saying is better. The Hunger Games is definitely better. Technically, this is the Darkest Minds trilogy and then this is like random short stories from side characters. Never really finished it, but you don't really need to. They don't seem important. This is my sister's. I have only read the first Hunger Games book. I've seen the movies. And then this. I have in fact read these. I don't need to know this much about Quidditch, but I do. On this shelf, 17 books and 15 read. I'm sure this looks a little ridiculous. I've read like all of these actually, except this. Also a pride and joy of mine. Is it controversial to say that I like In the Lives of Puppets more than Cerulean Sea? That annoys me. These are in the wrong order, but great series. Also, yes. 17, and I've read 16. As I've shown you, these are double stacked. So the ones that you've seen in front are the things that I haven't read. Everything behind them for the most part. I think entirely I've read. These are pretty funny, honestly. Sadler Mars. You have a good sense of humor, and I think we would be great friends. I have not read any of these books. The one I'm most looking forward to is definitely this one, because I love fantasy, and I've heard this is great. Also, Tom Clancy. I've heard good things about Tom, but like, it's kind of intimidating me, because this thing's a chunker. It's a big book. I don't remember why I got this one. I was told to. I've read all of these. Can we talk about the Bone Witch trilogy, please? Because the way this had me in a chokehold when I first read it, if you like Bear and the Nightingale and like One Dark Window, if you like young woman, kind of powerful chosen one vibes, and also like found family and fantasy and enemies to lovers, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. Please go read this. Because like nobody's read this and it's so good. And the books y'all talk about online, this is your jam. You would love these. I actually really like this one. I kind of destroy half my book. You do have to get behind the fact that it's kind of confusing because there is no quotation marks. I genuinely went and like dotted every other line because I lost track of who was talking. Total for this shelf, 25 books, 15 read. Kind of want to get the rest of these. I've read more than this one. I'm up to volume 9 if you go to Universal and you buy a wand. This is actually Diagon Alley that they have set up, and then, or no, this one is. And then you can go to each of those little spots and you stand on the ground and you wave your wand and there's like a motion sensor. and it sets it off, and then it does a thing. The entire collection of Anne of Green Gables. If you've seen the show Anne with an E, the first episode follows the first like 2 chapters of this book. From there, a whole bunch of stuff happens that just never happened. There are characters that fully just don't exist in the books that exist, which I will say, I absolutely love that show. I adore it so much. It is not this story. In my mind, they are 2 different things, but they are still both lovely, and I love them both. I've only read these 4. I have not read these 4 yet. Nothing happens, and I'm so used to fantasy, I think, that sometimes with books like this, if I'm not invested enough in the characters or the writing isn't doing it for me, it just takes me longer, and I'd rather read fantasy. Of all of these books, I haven't read these top 5. And then these I've all read. I'm such a sucker for like pure dark academia. I'm sure I've talked about it at some point, but like a lot of dark academia books don't really fall under like the core dark academia category. If you want to like get technical, it depends on how you define dark academia. I would say that this is dark academia. And it's great, and I love it. Also for a very specific person. You very well may hate the main character. He's insufferable. But I love it. I guess I love being in the heads of messed up people. We don't have to worry about what that says about me. Oh my gosh, also, like, I own very few graphic novels. I will go back to this all this. It's so cute. It's about a prince who wants to be a drag queen. Pride Month, guys. And then we've got these. Okay, this was such an interesting book. I picked this up because I was at Powell's, which is like the biggest used bookstore, I think, in the country. I try to find something that I've never heard of. I'll read like the back of the book and then read like the first chapter, and if I'm invested or like I care or I think it's interesting, then I'm like, cool. This was one of those. This is kind of a fucked up book. There's 2 timelines. There's like the present timeline and then the past with like this little girl. And I just did not care about the present timeline at all. The author tried to give us some like hopeful whatever, it ended okay. I was just mad. That did not reconcile for me anything that happened in this book. It's about a girl whose mom gives her to the circus. She's albino, and her mom gives her to the circus because her mom's like, you're a devil child. But I loved it. So much. I had a great time. Oh my gosh. What introduced me to dark academia and made me love every single book ever. I love this more, but I loved it. The problem is there's only so many of these. If you want to feel sad and angry, total count for this shelf, 32 books. 23 read. This one is mine, and I love it. I know that there's mixed opinions on this book. I am in the love camp. This is a book that I will read again one day. There are multiple books like that, and the reason that I want to read books again isn't necessarily because I loved it the first time, but because I think that coming back to this in 10 or 20 years, it will be a different reading experience because I've had more life experience. Oh my gosh, the most beat up copy of this is all 3 of them. It is the most beat up paperback. I don't know how long. This was my dad's copy. I don't know how long we've had this. It's been forever. I read technically the first one, and then I was partway through the second one, and then I didn't continue. I don't know why. This is the old edition. This is like 1 or 2E. There are 2 books on here I haven't read. I haven't read this one, and I haven't read this one. I liked Dr. Sleep more than The Shining. More than either of those. I like The Stand. Funny story, it's the zombie apocalypse, but instead of zombies, everybody just dies. So there's 1% of humanity left or something. It takes place in the US. And I read this during COVID. Not intentional, that just happened. All of these I've read. There we go. If you want to be sad and devastated, but also have a great time, this was so fun. I don't read romance very often. I read fan fiction, and most of the fan fiction I read has romance. Not very spicy romance. I don't read like a lot of spice, honestly. When I do read romance, I tend to pick the wildest things. This is one of 2 romance books I own. Both of them were a great time. Most of why they were a great time is because there was never a moment that I thought it was serious. And neither did the author. We both knew that we were in for like the most ridiculous time of our lives, and that was the point. Total number of books, 24. I've read 19. My children's books from the library in Japanese. I am learning Japanese. I'm very low level though. For the most part, this is the Brandon Sanderson shelf. So actually, but first, I have Oliver Twist. I have all the Stormlight Archive books now. Here's this. I haven't read any of these. And then we've got the massive Brandon Sanderson pile. I am so preferential to the paperbacks. So I haven't read any of these. So I haven't read the Bands of Mourning trilogy yet, but I have read the Mistborn trilogy, and all of the Stormlight up until the 4th one. So this is 18 books and I've only read 5. Okay, and then we have a few here. These are all library books, as you can see from here. We're not gonna count those. These 3 are, this is a copy of the Bible, like the Bible, the Holy Bible, that my aunt customized for me. I have in fact read the entire Holy Bible. I am Christian, so like, obviously I love it. There are some parts that are more interesting than others for sure. And then these, I just finished these the last couple days. They are fantastic and I love them. So there's only actually 3 here and I have read all 3 of them. This is my book journal. I've done the tallies. I have 167 books. Of those, I've read 114, which is a total of 68%. Which isn't bad. That's it. You're welcome if you found this interesting, I guess. If you didn't, you're still here. So you must have found it somewhat interesting. Okay, bye!